welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Mary, and today's video is going to be my TBR video for the month of July. So if you've never been here before, I play Sorry every single month to pick my TBR for the month. The first card that I draw is going to be the number of books I'm going to be reading this month, and then I will go around the board and pick prompts as I go. And then if I get a Sorry, I have to add a book. If I go all the way home, you get a reward. I'm no longer doing punishments because I'm studying for the bar right now, so if this is your first time here in a while, that's why that's not happening. But without further ado, let's just find out how much I'm gonna read this month. Okay, we are starting over here with the blue on new release where we left off last time. And let's see how many books we're gonna be reading this month. 4 books. That is very good, actually. Sorry, so actually we're gonna be reading 5. Move forward 3. A book with queer rep. So the first card I drew was a 4, so I will be reading 4 books in the month of July, which is actually really, really good because I do take the bar at the end of the month, so I am still working on my bar prep course. But then I immediately got a Sorry, which adds a book to the stack, so that is 5 books. And then the first prompt that I landed on was to read a queer book, or a book with queer rep. And for this, I'm going to be reading The Friend Scheme by Cale Dietrich. And this, I believe, is a YA queer contemporary romance. And it's sort of supposed to be like a Romeo and Juliet type thing where they're like star-crossed lovers who aren't supposed to like each other, but then they end up liking each other. I can't remember when I heard of this book or why, but it has been on my TBR for a while, and I am excited to finally get to it this month. Move forward 5. A debut. The second prompt that I landed on was to read a debut novel, and for this I'm going to be reading One to Watch by Kate Stayman London, which I actually recently purchased. I'll post the blog where I did the haul where I got this book in it, but I got this from Goodwill, and I have wanted to read this for a while. I've also been in the mood for like contemporary romance, light, fluffy reads. If you missed it, I did do an entire romance reading blog sort of because of that, and I want to get to this one next month as well. This is a plus-size romance, I believe, and our heroine ends up going on like a bachelorette type show after she bashes the show for not having enough like plus-size representation. I've heard mixed things about this book. Most people seem to think it's just okay, but I really like the concept of it being like a reality show in a book. I don't watch The Bachelor or that franchise, but I do like Love Island and like reality shows like that. So I think it would be fun to read a romance that's set on the set of a reality show. Move forward 7. POC author. The third prompt I landed on was to read a book from a POC author, and if you don't know, I do actually have 3 separate like diversity author prompts. One is Indigenous authors, one is Black authors, and then one is POC, which is basically non-Black, non-Indigenous people of color. And for this, I'm going to be reading the sequel to The Rise of Kyoshi. Let me look up what it's called. The Shadow of Kyoshi by F.C. Yee. These are like a spin-off series from Avatar: The Last Airbender, which is a TV show that I really like. And they basically follow Kyoshi, who I believe was the avatar just before Aang in the show, or like well before. I'm not sure exactly how far before she was in charge, but these also have like a queer romance element between Kyoshi and Rangi, who is like her firebender trainer. They're really cute. It's a duology, so I'm excited to wrap this up. It's been over a year since I read the first one, and I meant to pick up the second one kind of soon afterwards, but I just didn't. So I don't really remember what happens at the end of the first one, but I do remember it landing on it ending on a cliffhanger, and I think I'll be able to pick it back up pretty quickly. I remember like certain parts of things that have happened. I just don't remember what the cliffhanger was, if that makes sense. Move forward 12. Science fiction. The fourth prompt that I landed on was to read a science fiction book, and for this I'm going to be reading Dune Messiah by Frank Herbert, which may surprise you because I really did not like Dune when I read it last year. However, I did say at that time that I was going to try to give Dune Messiah a chance. I have seen Dune Part 1, the movie. I was just as confused in the movie as I was in the book, so but I am looking forward to reading this one. Just to see, I'm gonna try to physically read it because last time I think part of what happened is that I got the audiobook of Dune because my physical hold ran out and so many people had it on hold and I didn't want to buy it, and I don't know, so I'm gonna try to get the a physical copy and read it physically, or at least like with an ebook, or read it somehow so that I'm not just listening to it, because I think I got lost in the listening and then was lost in the plot. So that's my hope. I'm also gonna read a like synopsis of what happened in Dune, because I remember, I think, the main events, but I don't remember every single thing. So I'm hoping to, like, I don't know, refresh my memory before I go into the sequel. But I am hoping that I like it more than the first one, and then if I do, maybe I'll go back and reread the first one, but also probably not. So hopefully the last prompt. Move forward 12 again. A new release. The fifth prompt that I landed on, and the final prompt for this game, is to read a new release. And for this, I'm going to be reading Either Or by Elif Batuman. I don't know how her name is pronounced, but this is a like literary fiction that came out this year. And I actually got a notification that my hold is in at the library, but I need to go pick it up. I haven't done that yet. So I'm hopeful that I will get to this month. This one, I don't really know that much about what it's about. I think it's about like a first generation woman whose parents might be Turkish, but they also might not be. I don't remember exactly all the details, but I think it's something where she like goes to college at an Ivy League and starts sort of dating this guy off and on. And this book sort of follows their relationship through one summer where like he gets her a job somewhere or something. And I think it has something to do with them like traveling to Europe together, but I don't really know, and that might be entirely wrong. But I did think it sounded good when I looked it up the first time, and I tend to like, not necessarily like slice of life books, but I don't know, I like Jeffrey Eugenides and Sally Rooney and stuff like that, where it is a little bit more slice of life. So I am interested in seeing if this is up my alley as well. I almost said up my street because I've been watching too much Love Island. Okay. The other thing I just want to mention is that I am still continuing to try to read one book from the Cosmere every single month, and this month my book is going to be The Bands of Mourning. The Cosmere is Brandon Sanderson's like big connected universe with a bunch of his series in it. Bands of Mourning is the 6th book, I think, in the Mistborn series, and it's the 3rd book in Mistborn Era 2. I don't like Era 2 as much as Era 1. I've mentioned this before, but it's basically like a steampunk-inspired fantasy at this point, because it uses the same magic systems that were brought up in the first era of Mistborn, but it's obviously the future, and they've like invented trains and guns and stuff like that. So it's a little bit like a Western, or like a steampunk Western, with magic. It's interesting. It's not my favorite thing that Brandon Sanderson writes, but I am, you know, interested to see how it all ties together with the rest of the Cosmere. And that's the book that I have up next. I don't know if I've already said this. I'm reading them in publication date order. So that is going to be it for today's video. Those are the, I guess, 6 books that I'm planning on reading in July. Let me know in the comments down below if you've read any of these and how you felt about them. And also, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe if you would like to, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!